Situation with James get resolved. If he's here, we love him, and we want him to be with us. And I think we have a better team.
James Harden is now requesting to be traded to yet his third team, and he seems to be making it very clear that he does not want anything to do with the 76ers. This whole situation has been very drawn out and tiring, and I for one am just tired of James Harden's antics. Over the years, he has become worse and worse when it comes to being a team player, and the Sixers are the latest team to suffer for it. This really has been a sad fall from grace, as Harden really used to be held up as one of the more likable players in the league and a respected guy in the NBA, to now where he is just acting like an immature brat.
What you call bank? I call game.
Now, if you have watched Young Mustard's latest video on the James Harden situation, he explained this very well. I will leave a link to his video in the description, but to those who come to Harden's defense, I will give him this. James Harden was promised an extension by Daryl Morey, and then he came to find out that Morey was never going to give him that extension after what happened in the playoffs, and that prompted James Harden to go on a tirade bashing Daryl Morey. Even to go as far as to do it in China of all places, where he knows Morey is hated the worst there after what happened in 2019.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of again.
Even though Harden has a right to be upset at Daryl Morey, at the same time, did he really deserve that extension? I want you to ask yourself, did he really deserve that extension after what happened in the playoffs last year against the Celtics? In the second round of the playoffs, we all watched you wet the bed in Game 6 in a game where you guys should have made it to the conference finals. You went 0 for 4 in the fourth quarter. Then in Game 7, a game that was winnable, you go and stink up the floor and drop a whopping 9 points and go out in the worst way possible. So no, Harden did not deserve the extension whatsoever, and to be quite honest, since being a Sixer, he has not delivered, because against the Heat in 2021, he also choked in the closeout Game 6, and he was terrible. Did he even shoot in the second half of the game? I don't think he scored in the second half of the game at all. For the city of Philadelphia, I just feel bad for you guys, because you guys cannot seem to get a secondary star that is well-rounded and happy and doesn't cause any problems. It happened with Ben Simmons, and it's happening again. Now, when and where Harden gets traded to, that is the question. But here's the better one. Who actually wants James Harden? Like, real talk, who wants James Harden? Because so many teams now know what Harden is about, and I don't even think they really want to deal with James Harden's antics and give up some of their best assets for him. Even though if James Harden is a great player, I don't think it's worth dealing with all this BS. And if he does get traded, who's to say that he won't pout like a baby and force his way out of a team yet again? In Houston, that man was given everything. After what happened in OKC and him getting traded after not getting enough money, Houston gave him everything he ever wanted. He was given great players, a great system, and the keys to a franchise as the franchise player. The only unfortunate thing was that they were never able to win a championship, but they had great years with Harden at the helm. Then Harden forced his way out of Houston in the funniest way possible. He wore a fat suit and was clubbing, and he just did not take anything seriously, and he left the Rockets high and dry in a really mundane interview after what happened against the Lakers.
I love this city. I literally, have done everything that I can. I don't think it can be fixed. So, yeah, thanks.
Then he landed in Brooklyn to pair with KD and Kyrie. Then after a couple of months, he decided to force his way yet again to another team and landed with the Sixers. And we already know what's happening with the Sixers. It is just an embarrassing look for Harden at this point. The only team that seems to be interested in Harden, or Harden seems to be interested in them, is the LA Clippers. But even then, is he really going to help their team? Is that even going to make them title contenders? Because Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are still injury-prone players. And we don't even know if Harden's going to be able to stay healthy, because he has been injury-prone in the past. And we don't even know if he's going to perform in the playoffs. He might just choke yet again in the biggest stage of his career. But we will see what happens in the upcoming season. If he decides to get traded to the Clippers are definitely going to have to make a package that would give up Westbrook and a couple of bench pieces to get him. But hey, it's going to be an interesting season to see if he either stays with the Sixers or if he gets traded. Oh man, it's going to be hilarious. But in summary, if we were to look at James Harden's career at this point, it has been a solid one to say the least. He's one of the best scorers we have ever seen in the modern era, one of the best shooting guards of all time, and a top 75 player and an MVP. and he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no doubt about that. He has a chance to rectify this and add to his legacy. As much as I am criticizing him in this video, he does have time to rectify and fix his image and fix his legacy with a championship. If a championship is added to his resume, that will boost him in the rankings as one of the best to ever play, and probably in the shooting guard rankings, but who's to say if he does? But if he doesn't, then what people are not going to forget about his career is the multiple times he failed to show up in the biggest moments in the playoffs, him forcing his way out of teams and being a team cancer, and him failing to win a championship. And that will be very disappointing for an all-time great. By the way, do you guys remember when there was a debate on if he was a better shooting guard than Dwayne Wade? Because I do.
I got him over D Wade, but I'm out of pocket.
Yes, you are.
He better than D Wade, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Jeff Teague, what were you thinking, man?
Regard for human life. I want to go higher. It's over to Ron Lowe. Ariza dropped down. Kobe. The lob.